Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Let's go around the world of sport this evening, where we also look at games that will be coming up in EPL, La Liga, and then the French League on tonight. But let's begin from the home front. Let's start. The good thing is that whenever you go, you see Nigerians, and when it comes to sports, we are doing well in all of the sports we have ever ventured in. Football, table tennis, cricket, name it and what have you. When Nigeria wants to do it, they do it and they do it right. Let's begin from table tennis, where these fantastic young players, I call them, are doing so well, as Kuti and Udoaka, Hope Udoaka and Matthew Kuti are the biggest movers in the latest ITTF ranking. That is the International Table Tennis Federation rankings that was just released within the week, and these two players who just won the West African Regional Tournament in Togo of recent. That's the single men and the women's singles title. That's for the two of them, Udoaka and Kuti. Now just move up in the latest ITTF ranking. For Kuti, they move up by 750 steps to be ranked 185 in the world. While for Udoaka, who is also a champion, who's also won the singles women's title of recent in the West African Regional Tournament, she gained 365 steps to be ranked 173 in the world, and she's behind the likes of younger them Fatima Bello and Tosin Oribamiche in the pecking order in the ITTF ranking, and then in Nigeria. So for younger them, number 1, Fatima Bello number 2, Tosin Oribamiche number 3, and for Hope Udoaka, she's ranked number 4 in the Nigerian tennis world. So in the world, in the ITTF ranking, she's now ranked 173, and for Kuti, he's ranked 185 in the latest ITTF ranking that was released. And fantastic one for these two players, to tell you the truth. For Kuti and Hope Udoaka, both of them are young. Fantastic player, and thank God we've seen somebody who will take over from Aruna Kadri eventually when he passes out of the game. I have Isaac Omediji joining me this evening on the show to look at this and other stories that will be coming up on Sports Update this evening. Isaac, well, congratulations to Kuti and Udoaka Hope for at least moving up the ITTF rankings. They just won the single men and the single women's title in the West African tournament that was played in Togo.
Good evening, Manuel. Thank you for having me in our sports update. You see, for both athletes, for both tennis players, I was just salivating and smiling when you were reading out what they've done. I followed them a bit and I understood the fact that personally on their own they want to succeed, and without so much support, they are doing so many things for themselves. And there was a statement you made that at least now we have seen probably a replacement for Aruna Kadri. That would be great, because for how long will Aruna Kadri continue to put Nigeria on the map internationally? We need to have gotten, the young ones that we'll be looking at as the, heir apparent to Aruna Kadri. And here we are today, looking at various options. I think we need more. And for this, for Kuti and for Udoaka, this is just the beginning. They've won the West African tournament. I see them winning the African competition. They should go out there and get more exposure, because that is what they need to continue to increase their rankings. And with their rankings increasing, they get more opportunity to participate in more better competitions. So let's support these ones. Let the tennis federation also support them, and let sponsors come in and support them. And in the next 2-3 years, we are seeing African champions and champions that will be and tennis players that will be only on every other top player in the world. It's just a matter of exposure and training. And I believe these ones have the talent, because the passion is there individually for both of them.
Because the passion is there individually for both of them. They were also the team that won the bronze and the silver medal at the African Games in Accra, Ghana, when it comes to Table tennis. All right, let's leave the table tennis sports quickly. Let's just look at this story. We will come the NWFL. Let's look at Sunshine's Queens of Akure, where they have sacked their coach, and then a new body immediately. A new team has been put in place. They sacked coach Oladimeji Abimbola, who took over from Edith Agoye before the beginning of the season, and for them the season they didn't really turn out well for Sunshine Queens of Akure, and now coach Oladimeji has been relieved of his duties.
You know, when a club has a target and a focus, they do everything possible to achieve it. And if they didn't achieve it, they will have to do a review and see where everything went wrong. And in football, whether the coaches are at fault or not, the coaches have always been a scapegoat. And that has happened for Social Stars again, where Coach Oladimeji has been sacked. And thank God, I'm happy that they've already gotten back a new team. But that is very important. Not that you sack a coach and you wait for months without a replacement. Thank God they have a replacement in place. Let's hope that Sunshine Stars will be able to rise again and achieve the kind of status they want to achieve, because they've already set a bar for themselves in the Women League. Let's hope that they will be able to come back to one of those forces you will reckon with in the Women League. Though they are still hard, but based on their standards, I think they are currently below par.
Yes, they are currently below par. They just came back to the league. They made it. They qualified back to the Nigerian Master Football League and assistance right now. It was not really a good outing for them in the 2023-2024 NWFL season. All right, let's go straight to Europe and quickly look at some fixtures that will be coming up tonight. We have games that are lined up tonight in the European fixtures. We'll start with the English Premier League. We'll talk about this, Isaac, before we look at other fixtures for tonight. Luton Town against Everton. Let's have the English Premier League table, the second side of the table, because that is where both teams are. And let's look at their position, and let's look at what this game tonight is going to be for Luton and Everton. We have a Nigeria in Luton Town, that is Osho, who will be making his 170th appearance in English football. But let's look at the table before we look at this game tonight. Before the table, Isaac, if you look at it, okay, we have the table on the screen. Luton is on the 18th position. Everton is on the 15th position. 36 points. Brentford 35. Nottingham Forest 26. Luton 25. If Luton wins, they have 28 points. They will push Nottingham Forest to the 18th position, stay behind Brentford, and definitely, you know, we still have just 3 games, 9 points to the end of the season, and Everton just need to make that point, 46 points. They don't need 6 points to be safe in the English Premier League. If they have 6 points, if they win 2 games out for Everton, definitely they are safe as it stands right now. So they just need a win and a draw for Everton, and for Luton they just need to win the remaining game of the season to see either Nottingham Forest loses or Brentford. One of them will have to join Burnley and Sheffield United. Burnley, Luton, Nottingham Forest, Brentford, Everton. I think one of these teams, 2 of them will join Sheffield United, who's already relegated.
You know, the calculation involved in relegation fight is even more, tight or tighter than the one obtainable for those who are competing to win the EPL. And for Luton, they are currently 11 points behind Everton, 25-36. It's not a joke. They would have to do everything possible to beat Everton today if they stand a chance of moving out of the relegation zone. And don't forget that Nottingham Forest are still battling with some cases about financial issues. So anything can still happen before the end of the season. And for Everton, they know what's at stake, and they'll be getting results that they needed to get. Look at how they got it against Liverpool, and they got in the next match against Nottingham Forest. So for Luton, it's going to be a dicey one. And I'll be surprised Everton will be coming out of this game victorious, because the spirit they have been coming in the last 4 or 5 games is a strong one. And for Luton, they've not been too consistent. 11 points ahead. I mean, below Everton is also not a huge task for them to breach. So as you said, they must win all their matches, and expect probably Everton, Brentford, and Nottingham Forest will lose all their matches for them to have any hope of not going on relegation.
Just for them to have any hope of not going on relegation. Then in La Liga, we have Getafe, who will be playing against Athletic Club tonight. Hoffenheim against RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga. We have one game in the Italian Serie A, Torino against Bologna, Toulouse against Montpellier, that is for the French Ligue 1, and Lens against Lorient, also in the French Ligue 1. So 2 games in France, 1 game in Italy, 1 game in Germany, 1 game in Spain, and 1 game in England. That is Luton against Everton tonight. All of these games will be coming up tonight, and as we speak, some of the in less than an hour, these games will be kicking off. Right there, most especially that game between Luton and Everton. No wonder Sean Dyche, that is coach of Everton, has been nominated alongside Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta for manager of the month of April. So let's see who wins it at the end of the voting and what have you. All right, let's leave that and quickly look at 2 transfer stories on the show this evening. We'll start with Manchester United player who is on loan to Getafe. He will be in action tonight for that team, Getafe. That is Juventus now favored to capture Manchester United, Mason Greenwood, who is not doing bad at all with Getafe, where he's been on loan. And now, if Juve gets the guy, I think it's going to be a good buy for Juventus if he fancy a move to the Italian Serie A.
Yes, it will be a good one for him. We all know the potential and the ability of Mason Greenwood. Unfortunately, he got himself into a scandal that almost ended and ruined his career. And for Manchester United, they have not shown any desire that they want him back. The body language, the messages coming from United is they still want to send Mason Greenwood. It's like they have not forgiven Mason Greenwood, even though he came out, let me say victorious in that trial. He was not found guilty. But despite that, they felt it's a dent and a taint on the club Manchester United. So they have to farm him out on loan to Getafe, and this time around, they've not even shown any desire to have him back permanently at Old Trafford. So if Juventus are interested, they are getting a wonderful player that, in the next few years, if he can keep his head low and get back in his mojo, will be one of the best players in Europe.
He will be one of the best players in Europe. And talking about one of the best players in Europe, we will look at this player. He has seen it all. He has won it all with Manchester City, the Champions League, the EPL, the FA Cup, what have you, the EFL Cup. He has won it with Manchester City. Bernardo Silva right now, Barcelona is showing strong interest to sign this guy, and his body language also is tilting towards Barcelona. That is, as Barcelona shows strong interest in Manchester City, Bernardo Silva. This is one player I respect so much. I fear him whenever he's with the ball. He's a magician with his left foot. Whenever he was with the ball, he knows what to do. He has an eye for passes and also how to score goals. I think, in my own opinion, sometimes I rate this guy above Kevin De Bruyne. I'm not taking anything away from KDB, but if you look at this guy very well, at times where KDB is actually shining is because you have Bernardo Silva on the pitch.
Well, not going into the argument. Let me look at the transfer angle for now. And for Barcelona and for Xavi, they know that they need to come back stronger next season, and they need to get all they needed to get back to the prime of what they are known to be. And the kind of football Bernardo Silva plays suits Barcelona's style perfectly. Where good dribbles, good passes, slick plays, intelligent players, and the kind of players that are paraded in old Barcelona, not the current one we have now. And for Bernardo Silva, he has won everything under Pep Guardiola in Man City. You might be looking at it, why not just go seek another challenge and see if I can win the Champions League or the La Liga with Barcelona? So it's an enticing deal that towards he's almost 30. I think he's 28 or 29 now. So if at that age Barcelona is still interested in him, why not go? Because he has won everything on Man City. Is he still, challenged? Is he still hungry? Is he still thirsty? Let him go to where he will get more challenge. And for KDB, Bernardo Silva, two great players. That's all I can say.
Of course, 2 great players. All right, before we go on the show, let's look at this story. Sometimes in our own Nigerian language, we say bad belle, where Red Grave has come out to say, okay, now that the athletics body of the, has come out to they are going to there's going to be prize money for gold medalists, silver medalists, and bronze medalists, starting with the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. That is in athletics. And I don't know why former Olympic gold medalist Redgrave is look his opinion where he said prize money would divide athletes at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. I don't know if you actually agree with this man who himself was a gold medalist during his heydays.
I think in individual events, I don't see how that would divide players. And in team events, it's a team eventually that will get the whole glory. I also don't see how that will also divide them. I think it's more of a motivating factor. If you want to be selfish, if you are selfish in individual events, you can be selfish in group or team events. So I don't see how that would divide players. But players who, sorry, athletes, but athletes who know that they are good, we also know they are good, are athletes that will definitely get this prize money. So if you're not good enough, we know you're not good enough. So I think we should look beyond that and look at the fact that it's going to enrich these athletes better. It's going to, make them have more, more funding in one way or the other. And apart from just the medal, financial, reward is also not bad.
Okay, financial reward is also not bad, and that is where the athletics body is saying that yes, it's just to encourage the athletes. That is why they have decided to become the first international body to say, okay, all the athletes who wins a gold medal, bronze medal, silver medal will be rewarded with cash prize, starting with from Paris 2024 Olympic Games. So I don't see anything bad about it, and they went about it. They explained how the money will be given gold medalists what is to take, silver medal, bronze medal, and then when it is team, maybe the 4x1 relay, 4x4 relay, the money that will be gotten will be shared among the athletes. All right, that is what we'll be leaving it on the show this evening. Sports update as a community. Thanks for joining me on the show this evening again. Doing a wonderful job to all of the story on Sports Update coming to your screen from Trust TV. All right, that is the much we can take. I am Emmanuel Fashimin. Say thanks for watching.
What the most difficult game I played is with Force. That's Chief of Army Staff.